In today's video, we are talking all about the equipment that you need to get started as a UGC creator. I want to break it down a little bit differently though, and first start talking about number one, what you absolutely bare minimum need to get started. Number two, what you maybe don't need necessarily, but would be super helpful to have as you get started with your UGC journey. And number three, what you probably definitely don't need, but it would be really nice to have once you do start gaining traction with UGC, you start bringing in more income, and then you can use some of that money to invest in this type of equipment. Before we get started though, really quick, comment below what you personally got started with when you first started UGC. I think it would be so interesting to see what everybody says, if they had a phone, if they had like all this equipment. Let me know in the comments below so everybody can see. Okay, let's get into it. This is exactly what you need, the absolute bare minimum to get started with UGC. Number one is going to be a semi-newish smartphone, whether you have an iPhone or Android, just a semi-newish smartphone that has decent recording, filming capabilities. For me personally, I currently have a iPhone 12 Pro Max, so it's not even the latest and greatest, but it does have, you know, those 3 different cameras on it, so I'm able to record in high quality videos. Here is a little bonus tip before we get into the second one. You're gonna wanna make sure that you have enough storage on your phone before you even take on your first UGC client. Before you know it, you are going to take on a client, you're gonna start UGC, and you're gonna go to film your first UGC video, and the last thing you want is your camera saying, oh, sorry, you can't take another video or you can't take another image because your storage is completely full. So right now or after this video, go through your phone when you're able to and just delete all of the random images and videos that are taking up a ton of space that you do not need anymore. Trust me, it's worth it to do a little bit of storage cleanup on your phone. All right, moving on to the second bare minimum tool that you need when starting UGC, and that is the CapCut app. This is where I do all of my video editing. I don't care if this is for like my full-time job where I do a lot of videography, for UGC, for my personal brand. I do all of my editing on CapCut. And as someone who has personally used almost every single video editing app on the market right now, I can promise you CapCut is the most user-friendly and it's free. I used to use an app called Splice, which was a good app, had basically the same capabilities, sort of, but they were charging me like $4 per week, which at the end of the month and year adds up a lot. So CapCut is more user-friendly and it's free. Go download it right now if you do not have CapCut. I promise you will not regret it. That is, of course, unless you already have an app that you really, really love and you're super familiar with and you don't really find it necessary to go and learn a whole new video editing software or app. So you make a decision, but if you still don't know where to go for video editing and what the best app is, I do highly recommend CapCut. Okay, so that's actually it as far as the bare minimum that you need in terms of starting UGC. Some may disagree with that, but when you really break it down, you just don't need a whole lot. And there's like a 99% chance that you already have your iPhone or your smartphone, whatever you use, and you have the ability to go download CapCut as a video editing app. So all that to say, if it is like the equipment part of starting UGC and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't start because I don't have this, I don't have that, please let this be a reminder that you don't need a lot to get started. You can build up to more things as you bring in some more income, but these are the bare minimums. iPhone, smartphone, CapCut. That's all you need. And if you're brand new to UGC or you're just thinking about getting started and you need some help, go download my free UGC starter guide. It'll be linked in the descriptions below. All right, now moving on to the it would be nice to have equipment and tools when you're getting started with UGC. And these will definitely help make UGC content creation easier. All right, the first one is going to be a ring light. This is something I already had personally. My mother-in-law, shout out to Dana, she gave it to me a few years ago at Christmas. I've just already had and used a ring light for other purposes. But when I started UGC, it was actually so helpful. And if I didn't have one, I would have went out and bought one right away because the apartment we were living at the time for the last several months when I got started with UGC was super, super dark. Like my office only had one tiny little window basically no direct sunlight, which is where I did a lot of the filming for UGC. And then our kitchen, there was zero direct sunlight. It was like tucked in a corner, and I just had no good natural lighting or even fake lighting from the light bulbs. It was seriously really bad, really dark. And now we are in a home with, I don't know if you could tell, but I have all this natural light in my office where I'm gonna be doing a lot of the filming for UGC. Our kitchen has more natural lights. We have these big windows. And P.S. by the way, we would not be able to afford living in this new home if it weren't for UGC. So just a reminder, keep going with UGC. You can make it happen. All that to say, if you do not have good lighting in your home, you're definitely gonna wanna invest in a ring light. And I know there's a ton of options at this point in 2023 with what ring light you should choose. So I'm gonna put one or two in the descriptions below that I personally have used or that I recommend. I also forgot to mention that oftentimes, because I still work full-time and I do UGC, a lot of the times, the only time I could film during the weekday if I had a UGC client that was waiting for videos from me was in the early morning when the sun wasn't even out, and when the sun went down or when my son went to sleep, that's when I could film UGC. So just keep that in mind. Like, if you work full time and those are the only times you can film, you can't just like ditch your desk or ditch your office and like peace out to your coworkers during the day and go shoot UGC. Then again, like, getting a ring light is going to be super helpful for you. Okay, this next one is a tripod. It's really funny because I almost put this in the very like bare minimum on top of the phone in the CapCut app. I almost put this as the third one, but I had a student inside my 6-day UGC Creator course tell me that she got started without a tripod. She literally just took a bunch of books she already had in her home, stacked them up, and then propped up her phone against like a wall, and boom, that was her makeshift tripod. So there you go. You don't even need a tripod to get started with UGC, but again, it's very helpful if you're able to get one. And a lot of the times people will be like, but isn't a ring light kind of double as a tripod? And my answer is yes. Ring lights do basically double as a tripod, but a lot of the times you'll be filming something and you're gonna need your phone in this place and then have light coming from the tripod, like say over to your right side or your left side, or behind you or in front of you. So it's really helpful to have both a ring light and a tripod. The third piece of equipment in this category is going to be a microphone. And I'll be super transparent with you. I actually own 2 lapel microphones. They kind of attach to you right here, like wherever. And I've never used them once to film UGC. And people are actually super shocked about this because I do a lot of voiceover videos like for UGC, for my UGC clients. You can go look at them, they're in my portfolio right now, but I have never once used a mic. I literally just open up CapCut, I hit the sounds, and then I hit voiceover, I hold it up, and I just start talking. It's very helpful to be in a quiet room, obviously, if you're able to, like an office or a guest room or your own room with like no kids or anything like that. But my phone has done the trick every single time I've done a voiceover video. So you need to decide if you do that and it sounds good like mine do for some reason, or if it doesn't, if it's a little fuzzy like a lot of other people claim that happens when you do it just on your phone with no microphone, then maybe get a lapel microphone and it'll make your life easier. And there's some really affordable options out there. You're not gonna break the bank with these microphones, so I'll link a couple below in the description and you can decide which one looks best for you. Number 4 in this category is a Flipstik. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I slept on the Flipstik for so long. Even after seeing like all these people posting about it, it has seriously been a game changer. So basically a Flipstik is this thing that sticks to the back of your phone case, and you flip this thing up and it exposes this adhesive that basically sticks to everything. I have tested this out on mirrors, on fridges, on just like painted walls, on telephone poles. It really does stick to everything, and they give you like this little alcohol wipe that makes it even stickier when it kind of loses that stick. So this is super, super helpful. I actually use this like in the mornings, like when I do get ready with me type of videos, or like personal brand videos where I'm shooting, you know, like tip videos for UGC or content creation. So do not do what I did, like just go get the Flipstik, and I'll link it in the description below. It is literally only $14.99 and you will not regret it. Okay, the last one, number 5 in this category of things that you really don't need but are super nice to have and make UGC a lot easier for you, is going to be a backdrop. And again, a lot of other UGC creators may tell you that this is totally like bare minimum, necessary 100%, that you need to get a backdrop, but you really don't. And do you know how I know that? Is because I have no backdrop whatsoever. I've never bought a backdrop. I don't have any backdrop. So you can easily buy these, and it's really helpful if you do like type of videos or images with UGC that need to have like that pretty backdrop aesthetic look. I just don't do that, or at least I haven't so far, maybe in the future, but I just don't. Like if I do need that kind of thing, I also can go to like one of my siblings' houses that has a really beautiful kitchen or something like that. But again, this is totally up to you. It's not necessary, but if you do feel better having like a backdrop where you can set products on and do a little, you know, pretty video that's going to help with you and your confidence in UGC and content creation in general, then 100% go get a backdrop. I think it would be very, very useful for you in that case. Okay, let's move on to the third and final category, which is equipment you definitely don't need but would be really nice to have in the future as you bring in more income with UGC and you can afford them. Number 1 is a better camera, right? Other than like your smartphone, you could upgrade to like a DSLR or mirrorless camera. You could get a really cool camera that has more capabilities and just maybe a cleaner, crisper type of video recording capabilities. I just want to make better videos, crisper, cleaner, more high-level videos. So I'm gonna go invest in a DSLR camera and it's gonna be great. So it just really depends on your own journey as a content creator and UGC creator to decide if this is worth it. You might just want to hold off right now until you can afford it, or even if you can afford it but it just doesn't make sense for you, then stick with your phone. I will tell you right now that I, right now, am filming on a Canon DSLR camera. It was like $600 or $700, and it's a really nice camera that I record all of my YouTube videos on, but I have never once used it for filming UGC. And although, of course, I could, it just is more of a hassle to me. Like, I would have to record on my camera, take out the USB, upload it to my computer, airdrop it to my phone, edit on my, it's more of a hassle. So decide for yourself what is better for you, what's more convenient for you, and then just go from there. Second thing that would be super nice to have, but not totally necessary, is a yearly subscription to the Captions app. The Captions app, if you've never heard of this or you don't have it yet, is amazing. It's not only this app that you can use for actual captions, but they also have a ton of really, really cool features that they use using AI. For example, they have this new feature that, say that you film something on your phone and you are looking over here, you're just like looking a little bit off, and you wish that you had that same clip looking at the actual camera. Guess what? You can literally do that. They use AI to basically generate your eyes to look exactly like your eyes, but straight to the camera. It is insane. They also have an AI-powered writing assistant. So if you ever need help like writing scripts for videos, you literally just type in like the short description and it will generate a script for you. And then the last thing that I really, really love about the Captions app, amongst all the other things they do, is they have a teleprompter feature. So you can literally go into the Captions app and have your entire script and then exit out of the Captions app. Say you want to go film on TikTok or something, it will feed you your script via the teleprompter on the top of your phone, and you can read it as you're filming. It is genius. Fun fact, the Captions app was actually my very first UGC client. I've talked about it before, but they hired me. They're the first brand that hired me as a UGC creator, so they do have a special place in my heart. But Even if they weren't my client, I would still download and pay for this app. That's how good it is. So real quick, I just want to show you one video that I did for them talking about some of these features. If you struggle coming up with the perfect thing to say in your talking videos and can never come up with a full script, then just let the Captions app do everything for you. Give it the topic and then a few keywords that you want to include in there. Then boom, it will literally use AI to generate an entire video script for you. Then when you are ready to read that script, it will send you push notifications so that you can read that script while recording a video in whatever social media app or camera app that you use. It's about, I think, $55 for the year-long subscription. If you have $55, totally worth it. If not, I mean, just sign up for maybe like their free trial, test it out, and see if it's worth it. All right, that is all I have for you for today's video. Let me know in the comments below if this was helpful and if you're going to get any of those things that I suggested. That would be really nice to have, but not totally necessary. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to see what you say. And again, don't forget to follow me over on Instagram. I post a lot of Instagram stories, so if you like the more personal stuff and want to get to know me a little bit more, go ahead and do that. And as always, check the description below for all the links to everything I talked about and for more UGC resources. I will see you next week.